Okay. Welcome everyone to our webinar from the Green, Inclusive and Climate Smart Finance Action Group from the European Microfinance Platform. And today we have a very special guest, microfinance institution leading in Kenya in green inclusive finance. We had the chance to meet personally in Rwanda at a workshop, that training provided by Microfinance African Institutions Network, where I gave a training on ecological and social transition, and was very admired by the work that you are doing, Janet. So the webinar that we have today, it's called Green Financial Products in Kenya, Enhancing Climate Resilience and Energy Access, presented by Janet Uteli, CEO of the microfinance institution Fortune Credit. Welcome, Janet.
Thank you, Natalia.
So as you know, our audience, we have in our webinars, we will do a presentation first of the action group, and then we will start with the presentation from Janet. We have until 4:30, and then we have 30 minutes discussion and questions from the audience. So let's get started, and I wish you that you enjoy this webinar. The Green Inclusive and Climate Smart Finance Action Group is a unique multi-stakeholder think tank that are all the actors dedicated or interested in environmentally responsible inclusive finance. And it's hosted by the European Microfinance Platform. The objectives are to discuss current challenges and strategies in the sector, to improve the knowledge and actions to enhance cooperation between partners, increase international attention through these type of activities, develop dedicated tools, as is the Green Index 3.0 that we have launched, publish and disseminate our findings, and enhance the interest and concrete commitment of all stakeholders in microfinance that are working across the world. The action group has been launched in February 2013 in Berlin and hosted by e-MFP, has more than 150 members with different levels of engagement, representing more than 70 institutions. And it's directed by Davide Forcella from the Just Institute and CERMI, and by me, Natalia Realpe Carrillo, CEO of EDERA and also fellow at the Institute for Advanced Sustainability Studies in Potsdam. In our website, you can explore all the activities that we conduct. We have the tool for the Green Index, trainings, materials on trainings, publications, and communicate our activities, and especially on the Green Index 3.0, the tool for environmental performance assessment of FSPs. We have a special site, which this tool has been developed by the action group and is aligned with international initiatives that have been coming in the past years for assessing environmental performance, and as well with the universal standards for social and environmental performance management from SPTF and CERIS, and has this dimension 7 that has been co-developed by the action group and also SPTF and CERIS. The Green Index has a digital tool. You can access it over the website. We have from EDERA, we have digitized the tool, and we are currently offering some trainings on the Green Index. We had in October 3 sessions in English, French, and Spanish, and in November we will have the next ones. You can visit in the website from e-MFP in the section news. You have the link there, and we will paste it also in the chat so that you can register and attend. We also have an online library for stakeholders interested in green inclusive finance, and also for students and researchers. If you are looking for a specific bibliography, then you can find it here. And as well, you are invited to share your materials or your publications that you have in regards to green inclusive finance. You can contact us and we can add it to the library. And we have as well these monthly webinars where we present cases, examples, experiences from different stakeholders, MIVs, technical assistants, and also microfinance institutions. And this has been running since 2021, and we have been very happy with the success that we have with these webinars. And you're always invited to join us once per month or sometimes twice per month to these events. And last but not least, we have published also a series of materials on training on green inclusive finance with very detailed slides. You can access them also on the website. And if you are interested in a more specific training, then you can contact us and let us know about your interest. So far, the materials are only in English, but we are planning also for the next years if we can also provide them in other languages. And with this introduction, then let me give the floor to our special guest today, Jeanette Cotelli, to tell us about the amazing work that you are doing at Fortune Credit on green financial products in Kenya, enhancing climate resilience and energy access. Jeanette, the floor is yours, and I'll give you note at 4:30 to start the discussion with our guests.
Okay, thank you, Natalia. And I want to take this opportunity to welcome everyone else to this interesting session that will be able to take most of us and in Africa and the entire world to the next level as far as inclusive financing is concerned. So today I'll be able to quickly move into the slides that we have. I'll tell you something about ourselves, our theory of change in the financing sector, and our approach as far as green inclusive financing is concerned. I'll mention the products that we are offering under green financing products and the benefits that we've been able to enjoy as an institution, and even what our customers have been able to benefit from the entire approach. Thank you. The next slide. Fortune Credit is a microfinance institution that was set up 8 years ago in Kenya so that it can be able to catalyze the economic empowerment of the rural population in this nation. And this was supposed to be achieved through offering financial services, that is credit and insurance and savings. Our purpose as an institution is to transform lives of low-income households by building sustainable business models. When we talk about the low-income households, is that our target customers are smallholder farmers, we have the small traders, we have the youth who are in the transport sector, and we also have the pastoralists in the arid and the semi-arid areas. Our vision is to be the advocate for social, economic, and ecological prosperity of the people of Africa, because we have intentions of serving customers beyond Kenya. Our mission is that we offer solutions designed to accelerate access to innovative financial products and services that have economic and social impact. Therefore, our positioning statement as an organization is that we provide inclusive financial services that transform lives, build resilience, and that offer sustainability to the target population. Why do we do that? Because we know that if our customers have sustainable businesses, and if our customers are resilient enough, then Fortune Credit is. Our theory of change as an organization is that we are actually looking forward to be able to impact 5 million people in the next 5 years, that is by the year 2027. And our focus group, the women and the youth. When you look at the youth, we are looking at the age of 18 to 35, looking at the unemployment levels in Kenya, then we're looking at ways of being able to incorporate the young people into our conversation. At the moment, as an organization, we have 54% of our clients being women and only 11% being the young people. And yet, if we need to move forward, probably as far as the agricultural sector is concerned, the average age for a farmer in Kenya is 66 years. For continuity and sustainability, it means that actively we need to include the young people into this particular conversation. So what are we doing as an organization? Capacity building is actually key, as all of us know that education is one of the tools to be able to combat poverty. We are looking at ways of offering resilience to our clients, not only giving them loan products for the purposes of doing it as a microcredit institution, is that we want to see that they're able to adapt to the changes that are occurring each and every time. So when you look at that particular diagram that we have, you'll see that you want to empower people, you want to build industries. How do you want to build industries that are on any value chain that we are dealing in as an organization? For example, if it's an agricultural value chain for poultry, is that you want to work with all the value chain players so that you can be able to see that we offer the best to our customers. So our main aim is that we want to have improved and sustained livelihoods, because once our customers' lives are actually improved, I know that even for us as an institution, we'll be able to move forward. We've been able to look at the 3 Ps as an organization, that initially when we started, we wanted to catalyze the economic growth, and therefore we're looking at profitability. But as at now, we are looking at the people also, that is our staff members and the customers, what can be done so that we can be able to move forward. Then we are also looking at the planet as a whole. So for us to be able to move forward and impact the 5 million people that we are talking about, then our strategic focus, number 1, is on the social transformation. We are looking at micro and small enterprises. We are looking at agriculture, which is the backbone for our nation. As far as the GDP is concerned, it contributes the highest, so that we can be able to offer food security and employment creation. We are looking at the environment. And today, when we see what is happening, Kenya is among the top 3 countries at the Horn of Africa that is hugely affected by climate change. That is the drought. And if something cannot be able to be done about the climate change and the effects it has on our customers, then us as an institution and as a nation will be affected. Therefore, that is the reason why we are putting environment as one of our strategic focus going forward. And therefore, we are looking at the clean energy products. We are looking at disaster financing. When I talk about disaster financing, is it when we have droughts or any other disaster that we have as an organization, what is it that we actually want to offer our customers? We just learned from the 2019 pandemic that when we had COVID, most of our customers were actually affected. Did any institution or the nation maybe have plans in place? The answer can be yes or no, and therefore we want to move forward. We are looking at insurance under disaster financing as part of the solutions that can be able to offer our customers resilience in situations where they cannot be able to do nothing about climate change, and therefore I'll be explaining what we are doing under climate change with our customers who are in the arid and the semi-arid areas. We look at digitization because the people that we are dealing with are low-income earners, and at times to acquire the customers and to be able to service them, it's damn expensive. And the easiest way to be able to look at it is that how can digitization be able to accelerate financial inclusion in our nation. I had already talked about education, that if people are poor as far as knowledge is concerned, they will not only have poverty for energy, is that you actually have real poverty. So the story is, what can we be able to do as an organization to be able to make sure that our customers, the value chain players that we are dealing with, our strategic partners, are aware about this role of green inclusive financing. What is our approach? Because when you look at green inclusive financing, you cannot be able to do it just as an institution. It actually means that you need different stakeholders to be able to walk the journey with you. We are looking at capacity building. We are looking at innovative products, because it's not just business as usual. So at times when people hear green inclusive financing, you're thinking it's a totally different project. What I learned from the class that we have had with Natalia is that it's not a different project per se. It's a way of life. It's actually in our DNA now as Fortune Credit. Therefore, it's not something that we're supposed to overthink about it. We are just looking at how can we be able to incorporate the approach in our product design so that it can be able to suit the needs of our customers. And once we meet the needs of our customers, then the needs for the microfinance are also met. We are looking at which other pillar technology that I had already mentioned earlier. And for us to be able to impact people and to scale up, then we cannot be able to work without technology. Therefore, what we are looking at is that how can we be able to drive green inclusive finance using products, innovation, the partnerships that I've actually talked about, and let me be specific, strategic partners who share in our mission and vision, and how can we be able to offer capacity building, not only to our customers, but even the strategic partners so that all of us can be able to move forward. And what adds juice in the conversation is technology. So I think we can be able to move forward so that I can explain on what we are actually offering. As I had explained earlier, agriculture is being affected each and every day by climate change, especially in Africa. We see droughts and we see floods. As an organization, through our insurance agency, we've partnered with insurance companies so that we can be able to offer index-based insurance to our customers who are in the arid and the semi-arid areas, even the tropical areas. Why index insurance? It's actually slightly different from the normal agricultural insurance in the sense that the traditional agricultural insurance products, what happens is that compensation only happens after the calamity has already happened. But on index-based insurance, it's actually based on the climatic conditions, and therefore they are actually predictable. How can I be able to explain this in a better way? For example, like now we are doing our pilot project in Marsabit. What happens under the index-based livestock insurance is that using the satellite data, then the experts in that particular field can be able to share with the insurance companies and tell them, yeah, we are going to have drought that is actually worse than any other time. And therefore what happens is that the customers who would have paid for the insurance premiums will be able to be compensated in advance for them to buy forage for their livestock. So as an institution, what is it that we are looking at is that we don't need to wait for the animals to die, that these clients need to get liquid cash so that they can be able to buy forage. For those customers who don't have the ability to purchase the insurance policies, what we are doing as an institution is that we are giving them insurance premium financing at a subsidized rate. Why are we doing that? The same story, we've been pulled into this particular space as Fortune Credit to be able to serve the vulnerable. So when other big financial institutions are thinking it's actually expensive to serve those clients, we are saying, how can you be able to work with technology to acquire the customers? So in the same light, as an institution, Natalia, I know that we had discussed earlier, we've come up with an in-house agri-tech solution that is able to offer the index-based insurance to our customers through mobile phones, and therefore being able to give them the resilience and the ability to have the food security in alignment with the social development goals. It's actually cheaper to acquire the customers using the USSD platform. It's also possible for them to be able to pay their premiums through the digital platform. Looking at the number of counties in our nation that are under the arid and the semi-arid areas, through this successful pilot, then it means that you can be able to serve now people in more counties using the technology without necessarily us having physical branches in those areas. What does it mean? That it's actually easier for us as an institution to acquire the clients and to be able to service those particular clients. I should also mention that under the same platform, we are also doing a pilot whereby donation that is condition-based can be used using the technology that we have on a smart contract. I know that in Kenya, blockchain is not yet a legal venture per se, but we are working with it because in the long run, because I know that there's nobody who can be able to block technology, is that you can be able to use the same platform to acquire customers on any other insurance product, which will be cheaper because you don't need so many human beings to be able to work on it. And also paying claims, it becomes easy. So under climate change, for the arid and the semi-arid areas, that is what we are offering, livestock index-based insurance, We have area yield index insurance for the people who are in the tropical areas. And we have something we are calling the replanting guarantee. How does it work? Is that today if a customer purchased certified seeds and they went to plant, and because of the climate change, for some reason, the seeds did not germinate, then the insurance companies are actually willing to be able to give the farmers the seeds again so that they can be able to go and plant. But now, when you look at that, then that is a huge statement. Then how come most people are suffering? They're suffering because they're not aware. So as an institution, we are actually looking forward to partner with other players who are willing to be able to offer knowledge to these customers. That even today, under the area yield insurance, what will happen is that the survey has already been done, the study has already been done, that for example, in a particular region, if you are planting maize, you can be able to get this number of bags in an acre. But because of changes in the climate, what will happen is that you can be able to get less yield. If you get less yield, then what will happen is that the insurance company is actually saying that you'll be able to compensate you up to this particular level. So if all our customers can be aware of what is happening in the insurance sector, that will be good. What is the opportunity that is there is that so many private players can be able to come into that particular space using technology so that you can be able to impact the low-income earners. Because when you look at the industry levels, is that the middle class can be able to access insurance easily, but the low-income earners cannot. Why? Because insurance companies already have their figures and they know who they actually want to work with. So it's my call today that you can be able to work together, all the stakeholders in that particular platform, to empower our customers. And now I move to the clean products. And on the clean products that we have as an organization is that we are looking at, number one, the customers or the smallholder farmers who are actually around the Mau forest in Kenya. People have been cutting trees so that they can use it as firewood. Between March and now, we've been able to give biodigester loans to 50 customers around the Mau forest. When we are doing that, what it means is that we are actually addressing more than one social development goal. Number one, we are giving them the ability to get clean energy, but at the same time, we are preventing them from cutting trees. Then another thing, what we are doing is that ordinarily they used to have the cattle that they have, but we are using now the waste, the cow dung from the cows to be able to use it to give them the clean energy that we are looking forward. What does it mean to that smallholder farmer? Is that they'll be able to have a saving that ordinarily they could not be able to have. They'll be able to have good health. So when you look at such like a product, you realize that it's actually offering more than one solution. As an institution, we'll be able to make money because we are a profit, we are for-profit organization, but we are giving the client more benefits than what they could actually have looked for. Under the same space, we'll realize that things are changing. We have climate changes here with us. We are offering our clients the ability to be able to get the solar irrigation pumps. We have the solar-powered egg incubators for the people who are under the poultry space. And what we are doing as an organization, one of the things that we are big at was financing our youth to be able to buy motorbikes that have helped now us to be able to make our environment clean. We've come up with a new song after going through the training with the DERA, is that how can we be able to now help our young men to be able to acquire the electric motorbikes in line with the changes that are actually happening in our country or in the whole world at the moment. Is it expensive? Maybe for a middle class person to be able to acquire a solar lighting solution, it's not big. But for our customers, the average ticket size for our clients is $350. And yet they cannot be able to pay it upfront. Now what we do is that we are able to give them so that they pay their loans over a period of 6 to 12 months. And I think that is actually huge. When you look at the agenda of climate change under afforestation, as we do biodigesters, is that we are also rallying behind our customers to be able to plant trees. We have a target of actually achieving 10,000 trees by the year 2027. And why are we doing that? We know that we actually need the planet to be there. because most of the clients that we deal with don't have collateral, then we are telling you that if you have trees, then that can be part of our collateral. We are also looking for partners who can be able to offset the carbon credit, so that will also be channeled as our collateral in this particular institution. I know that we have not been able to use our carbon credit as collateral yet, but we have partnerships, because you can remember when I was doing the explanation up there, is our approach is that one of the 4 factors that we want is partnerships. So there's a partner that we have done an MOU, and we'll move forward. So that the good news to our clients is that if you plant trees as a normal way of living, we can use the tree as your collateral, and you can also be able to use the carbon credits as part of our collateral for the institution. And we are so excited, Natalia, about that. There's also one of the products that we are doing it, and I did not know it till I had in Rwanda. We are financing our women to be able to do beekeeping. So when I heard about pollinators, the reduction of pollinators in the whole world, then beekeeping now became my baby. Thanks to you, Natalia, because we are thinking we actually need to say that this is an alternative way of people getting income, instead of them just doing what, if it's farming, you do poultry, or you are in dairy farming, or you want to do maize. It does not cost you so much for you to do beekeeping, because you don't need to take bees out so that they can go and look for food. They do it. And as they do that, then we are also building our world. So I'm so keen on that, especially for the women, because they can go around doing their own business, and it will still be able to give them money from honey. We also have partners in that particular value chain who will be able to do the off-taking of honey, so that by the end of the day, we give you a loan to be able to buy a beehive. Then there's someone who is supposed to buy your product, so that you can be able to get the payments without struggling. So I think that is what we actually have today on the green financing products, so that we create resilience for our customers, so that in the long run, all of us are able to benefit. Okay, as an organization, what is the benefit that we have actually gotten from focusing not only on the climate, but also focusing on people? That is the social performance management, is that we are able to target the right clients. Because when you're talking about the low income earners, then it helps us to know who are they. And it has helped us to be able to have a better business. Why? Because you are focusing on the needs of the people. And anytime we are doing product development, we are seeking audience from our clients to know what is it that they exactly need. And therefore, the rate of the non-repayment on loans has actually gone down. It has increased our client loyalty, because they'll actually come and tell you what is it that we need to do, and the way they are glad to be with Fortune Credit. The benefits to our clients, we have new products that are actually addressing the broader needs for our clients that we had never actually thought about at any given time. Because when we are dealing with our border riders, before we came and did the need analysis, that is after our training in Rwanda, is that we came and realized that those customers actually need savings. For me, I thought that as an institution, we actually thought they needed money for fuel, but no, that is not what they were looking for. All of them are actually looking forward to having a small house of their own. So because we are actually aware that we need to talk to our customers and know what they want, then we'll be in the business of dishing out products that our customers don't want. We are able to serve our customers better because they understand us, and we also understand them, and we know what is actually happening in their lives. And we have given our customers the ability to be able to provide feedback, not only the external customers, even for the employees, because we actually need them in the entire conversation. The only thing I can be able to say, Natalia, is that we are actually here to scale up, not only to impact lives in Kenya, but we are looking at East Africa in the near future because of the digitization that we have in the conversations, the partnerships, as I have said earlier. Now we need to we are collaborating with our local governments in our areas of operation to be able to deliver on this particular agenda. And I think that is a way forward. So thank you very much for the training. It was insightful. It has given us the energy that I have today to be able to move forward, because you know that we are actually contributing to a bigger agenda, but not just the selfish agenda of making profits as an institution. Thank you. I think you can be able to talk to us later after this particular session so that people who have questions, you can be able to answer at the moment, the reaction, what can we be able to do in our different spheres of life as organizations, as individuals, to be able to move forward and make this world a better place than we found it.
Wow. Thank you very much, Janet. It's impressive the amount of products. I think it's the first microfinance institution that we have as guest with some such a wide variety of financial products, and also exploring. I see now you have a passion to keep exploring what else your clients need, listening to them, translating these needs into financial and non-financial services, and also looking forward to expand these services to other regions. I leave here just some seconds the last slide of the presentation for the participants to have our contacts if you want to grad us and join also the action group. And now we enter to the most exciting part, that is the questions and discussion with the participants that are attending today. I will stop now sharing so that we can see you full face. And I see here already two questions from Fanny. From Fanny Seth. I saw you yesterday at the Financial Inclusion Week. Nice to have you here, Fanny. And her question is the following for the recording and those that that cannot read the questions. Thank you a lot for the presentation, Janet. Could you tell us a bit more about the way you are allowing your clients to use trees, if it was right, the statement, as collateral? I think I was also impressed by this innovative approach. If you can tell us more, Janet, will be great.
For several years, and as I had explained earlier, the reason why Fortune Credit was set up is to provide financial inclusion. And we came and realized that because when you look at the collateral that we take most of the time are household items and the social guarantee. When you go to any household today where people planted trees, for those of us who grew up in rural areas, people don't just wake up today and cut trees. And even if the trees are yours, you actually need to get permission from the local administrators for you to be able to cut your tree and sell it. So what does it mean? It's the long-term security that has always been there. So what will happen is that ordinarily what we're looking at is that probably if you have 5 trees in your land, you'll be able to say quickly how much can that farmer be able to get from that specific tree. Because what you're doing, it's an attachment. It's something that they actually value. And it's even more valuable than the TVs that we have always been valuing, because the TV is depreciating, but the tree is actually appreciating. Therefore, approximately, you can be able to know that if someone is asking for $100, then apart from the household items that we are actually putting on chattels as security, then even that tree is there because nobody will wake up in the morning and just cut trees like that. It has a sentimental value. So that is how we actually want to encourage more people to be able to plant trees so that it becomes naturally in their DNA that by the end of the day, they are not going to cut the trees, it will be there. What else are we actually looking at in line with that? Is that once we get a partner who can be able to do the carbon credit offset, then what is going to happen is that that will actually encourage most of our customers to be able to plant the trees, because we are not in the business of repossessing or even cutting the trees. We are in the business of telling them that we are here together. Can you hear?
Yes, I couldn't find the mouse to unmute myself. But yeah, I agree with you, Janet, that there is this sentiment, and I also see if they are planting trees, they are also staying and creating more relationship, like in the place where they live, and also having interest in improving the house, as you said, no, they want to build their house, they need financing, then their needs and even of their quality of life. It's just as a follow-up question before going to the rest of, is it connected, this collateral, to the carbon credits that you were mentioning, or are the carbon credits meant for the improved cook stoves that you are financing?
We actually want, what we are looking forward in the future is that it will also be tied to any payments that we are actually looking for. Just the same way we can be able to finance you and because you have an LPO and you're waiting for payment. If we can be able to get critical masses, and I know that we will, then it will also be possible for you to be waiting and seeing what is it that these people can be able to get from the entire conversation. As I had said earlier, we just need to make our customers aware. And if they're aware that also the trees can be part of their security, and they're also helping to make our environment clean, then the discussion becomes better.
Okay. And the next question comes from Lorna Grace. Hello, for your loans for trees, what terms do you offer? Is it against cash flow or other activities, or are the loans for a term greater than 1 year? You mentioned you have 6 to 12 months.
Happening, for example, typically when you go to give any client a loan and you're asking for collateral, and they give you, for example, household items or the group guarantee that you usually have, you're not actually pegging the loan repayment on the lifespan of the household items, of which I had already mentioned earlier that they're depreciative in nature. How about, because what you're doing is that you're actually according value to the collateral, right? So if I came and I actually knew that probably the trees that you have today are worth $100, then what will happen is that I want to give you a particular percentage, 50% of it in addition or over and above the other collateral that you have actually given us. So that is what we are looking at, the loan to value. Giving them, you give the trees the value, then you're looking at, can I be able to give it at 50% of that particular value as we move forward?
Okay. We have a question from Grameen Credit Agricole, Philippe Guichandou. Nice to have you here. It's not easy to sell index agro-insurance. What have been your main challenges, Janet, in that field, and with whom do you work for selling such products?
Well articulated. It's actually difficult to be able to sell index-based insurance. One, because customers lack knowledge. Two, people have a negative connotation towards insurance because they think insurance companies are just there to make people money, and they actually don't work towards that. How have we been able to do it as an organization is that we are dealing with partners in each and every area of our operation. Because I said that what is our approach on green inclusive financing? What we have done is that because even in the arid areas that you're talking about, we don't have a physical branch, then we have partners who are providing other products there. For example, the partner that we are dealing with in the arid areas has been offering animal feeds, he's been doing insurance locally. Therefore, what will happen is that he already knows the people we can be able to work with to be able to offer them insurance premium financing, or so that all of us can be able to discuss about our products. So the easiest way, or what has actually enabled us to be able to reach out to those customers, is working with partners. Because one of the things is that if you don't know how to work with partners, we'll have issues. Let me talk a little bit about our agri-tech solution. One of the things is that we want to onboard our customers using that particular technology. However, we are not only using technology, is that in each and every area we have a lead farmer. We are calling them the village champions. We'll be able to communicate our language to the locals using their own language, how they understand best. So in each and every area, we already have the lead farmers that we train on our products. Therefore, it becomes very easy to talk to the people in whichever area, whether you are in the arid or the tropical areas. And we can see it bearing fruit. Because as an organization, I think we've actually doubled the number of customers that we have only this year from the time we actually launched that particular product. Why? Because you just need to understand. And all the partners who are playing in that particular field. They also help us to be able to onboard the customer so that at least you don't have the resistance, because all of us, we need to gain from that particular relationship. So I think that is one of the success stories that we have this year of combining technology and the people who are on the ground, especially the rural areas, to hear our language and why, and help us to be able to talk to their communities.
Janet, we have now. Fanny was very thankful for your answers and comments on how you're dealing with the trees as collaterals. We have a question also from Fanis Kakai. How about carbon credit offset? How will you use it as a collateral? I think this is an innovative approach. Many questions arriving on this regard. Can you tell us more?
If people are actually able to plant trees in a particular area, and what you're working on is encouraging people within a radius of 10 kilometers to be able to plant trees, because not everyone else will be able to plant, then it becomes very easy to appropriate or put it in proportion. For example, if we have this particular 10 kilometers radius, using the satellite data, you can be able to know the amount of carbon credits that the clients are actually supposed to claim. And if I have 2 acres, we have someone else who has 1 acre of trees, then it becomes very easy to do the proportions. So that in the long run, what will happen is that I'm not actually waiting for the carbon credits to be able to get my loan repayment, is that the client already has the economic activities that they're using. So what are you doing as an organization is that you are only looking at what is it that you can be able to do. It's an incentive for people to be able to participate in that particular session. So if I know that this is the amount of carbon credit anyone can be able to get, then what it means is that I can continue working with you, because you're looking at sustainable ways of moving forward and doing your business just as usual. So what I'm trying to say is that we will not be able to give you money to plant trees so that I wait for carbon credits to pay my loan. No, we are looking at a different way to incentivize our customers to be able to move forward and do what is right. Otherwise, ordinarily, people will not care about the climate change that we are singing about. So how can you be able to move the agenda forward? It's just the same way that if I tell you that my collateral is that particular tree, or my collateral is your television set, what will happen is that I'm not coming to sell any of your trees or any of the household items that you're offering as security. We are giving it because that is what you value most. So that is how we are looking at the entire conversation.
So I see that even you can change the vision and mission that you have as Fortune Credit, integrating the environment protection values that you are transmitting with these messages, valuing what matters, like trees and nature and environment. The next question is from Demba Tandia. Thanks for attending. Hello, Janet. Thank you very much for the presentation. Are your green investments in local currency? How do you manage the risk, if any, especially when the funding comes in hard currency from international investors who want to support Fortune Credit?
Okay, thank you for the question. We are offering all our products in Kenya shillings. And what we are looking forward to, and the reason why I'm saying thank you for the question, I know that we have one partner who had given us a long-term loan in dollars, and you can see what has actually happened during this particular space because of the elections and because of what was happening in Russia, and our currency was volatile. What will we be able to do going forward is working with the organization that are doing hedging. And I know that I've spoken about partnerships. So now we have a new partner who is actually willing to be able to do hedging for us in case of any instabilities in the market, because they usually happen.
So yeah, that's how you are managing the foreign exchange risk.
Sure.
Okay, so I think this is answered. Then from Claire, some comment, very inspiring and insightful. Jane, keep it up. We have next question from Frida Muturi. I love the fact that Fortune Credit displays a good understanding of the people they serve regarding the collateral they have at their disposal. It's double-edged and relevant. My question, does Fortune Credit finance farmers wanting to engage in fruit tree farming?
Sure. In the reason, when we started Fortune Credit in 2014, we had the people who are actually looking for money to buy certified seeds. And we are just doing it as a one-off because that is their need. But since the beginning of this year, we are so keen on doing that because not everyone else can be able to afford to have the certified seeds, to have the trees that we need to plant at any given time. For example, in the recent past, I'm talking about 2 months ago, we have people in a specific county called Transware, where we have a branch there where we finance customers to be able to put up the nursery trees. And what we did over the customer service week was to enable our customers to be able to plant trees. And I know that I don't have videos and the photos at the moment of what we did, but yes, that is what we are actually planning to do. Leave alone the trees that are just there, are they, even if there'll be fruits or whatever it will be, because it's part of the agricultural product. So out of the 10,000 trees that we are actually talking about, Frida, is that we are willing to be able to support our customers to plant as long as they have the ability to repay their loan. That will actually come in handy.
Okay. I think what type of fruits fruit tree have you had experience like with your customers?
For now,
some fruit trees.
For now, I don't have a specific. I'm just saying we are now open.
Okay. Not yet, but are open for the future. Nabil Kesraoui from Tunisia. Thanks for joining today. What is the share of green loans in your portfolio? And a following up question, non-performance loans in the, if you have a rate of non-performing loans in the green loans comparing to other sectors. Do you see a better performance? Any particularity in this green portfolio that you have?
The green energy space is holding 11% of our total loan portfolio. Why at 10%? I know that you are not driving that agenda aggressively, as I had shared with you, Natalia, earlier, but you'll be able to see a shift. Reason being, in that particular portfolio, I think it's one of the lowest in terms of the non-performing portfolio for some reason. And maybe I'm just looking at it, is it because you address the need of that person at their hour of need? I don't know. I don't have the explanation, but I'm thinking it could be part of it, that you offered more than probably what the client expected to have. It's not like we've started giving the green energy loans after our training. We started a long time ago, but we were not just focused on what actually needs to be done. And looking at the benefits that we have had now, I'm sure the numbers will be able to improve. How are we handling that earlier is that we are giving you a green product as an additional loan product earlier. Why were we doing that? I think we were just selling because we needed to sell. But now we've actually realized that our client can be able to get a green product as their first time loan. So that could also be one of the explanations why the portfolio at risk is also low. But going forward, I know that we have practiced that over and over again, and therefore we are ready for scaling.
Yeah, I'm very glad to hear that the training did some impact on Fortune Credit. As now, yeah, with Nabil, we had a training or a workshop on green microfinance for the Middle East and North Africa region, where we had 40 microfinance institutions attending. And in the research that we had late summer with Finance in Motion, Sanad, the Senate Fund for MSMEs, its technical assistance facility. We also saw not many cases of microfinance institutions that had the same situation as in your case, where there is already lots of financing in regards to clean energy technologies or sustainable agriculture, enabling access to access to basic services in water, sanitation, and hygiene, but still developing an environmental strategy, still not yet with a plan for implementation or upgrading their portfolio. So I see this coming, and it will be, now we will see that the sector is growing in the next years. Thank you, Nabil. I think I see here a question from John Mwangi. How will you know the actual real animals that die from drought in arid or semi-arid areas that ensure in order to compensate? How does it work?
Okay, when you talk about, thank you for the question, and I was smiling because of the question on how will you know the number of animals that have died. I'm smiling because using the agri-tech solution that we're talking about, one of the things is that we are actually onboarding customers or signing up customers in a specific area with a specific value chain. For example, if I go to a place and you want to know the number of camels that the client has, you want to know the number of goats and sheep, because that is the only way you can be able to offer insurance. Under index-based insurance, you are not insuring the animal, you are actually insuring the forage. That is the pasture for the animal, so that before drought actually hits and all the livestock is actually lost, is that what will happen is that before the event happens, then the smallholder farm is actually compensated by the insurance company. How will you be able, maybe just to answer partially, is that the insurance premium is actually pegged on the number of animals that you have, and the rates actually differ. The one for the camel and for the cattle and for goats, it's actually different, and it's already standardized. Therefore, you can be able to know the number of cattle, camel that the client has at any given time. So how is the compensation done? It's actually best, you base the unit depending on a particular, they actually count the number of camels in reference to the number of a cow that you have, even for the goats. So the compensation comes with the amount of food that you eat, because a child who is 2 years old will not eat the same amount of food as someone who is actually maybe 15 years old or 10. So there's a lot of scientific information that has been done on the background to know the amount that can be able to feed a particular animal for a given period of time. So let me hope John have actually answered that. We are insuring the forage, but not the animals. We want to ensure that they'll be able to have food. And what you talked about is sustainability. As an organization, we just want to know that the income generating asset, which is the livestock, will be able to have pasture even when we have climate change. We can't hear you, Natalia.
Yeah. Okay. Very interesting to hear you, Janet, how you are approaching these products. We have here another question from Nabil. How are your donors on the topics of green microfinance? What is their reception and their feedback? If you can share more about.
We don't have any donor at the moment. There is one of the slides where you are asking about the ask, and part of the ask was, can we be able to have someone who can give us grants? Mm-hmm. And if they want to do that, and it's condition based, for example, in arid and the semi-arid areas, then it means that we already have a system in place that will enable them only to give donations if the event occurs, and that is if we have the severe drought. So I was mentioning that we already have the tools to be able to handle donations. As you know, most of the time in Africa, when we have any calamity, at times the donations do not go to the right people. So as an organization, we are looking at, can we be able to have a tool that will help us be able to know who is actually in those arid and the same arid areas, You can be able to use the geolocations to know exactly where they are. You already have their telephone numbers, so that instead of us just sending aid, is that even governments can be able to use our system to trace and be able to give not only donation, any other, whether it's certified seeds, using us, because we already have a way of knowing exactly where we are and trace them. So if we have any partner on this particular platform who is thinking, how can we be able to move forward? I think that will be good. But so far, no donation. We are using our own money or using a financial who has given you credit and you need to pay back.
And I love the statement on transparency for measuring the impact. Not this that we are working in ETERA as well. Now the importance of data to show to investors and donors what is the impact that they are having in when delivering their investments and their loans on the end beneficiaries. Janet, and also for the audience, I invite you to revisit the sessions from the Financial Inclusion Week. Just 1 hour ago was talking Howard Miller from the Center for Financial Inclusion, Action, on specifically what are not the different shades of green and the positions from investors, how is climate risk converting into financial risk, and how to integrate environment protection into the actions of microfinance institutions. The next question is from Frida, or not question, but a comment as feedback for the fruit trees. Thank you, Janet. I will be reaching out to you for talks with avocado, macadamia, mangoes, and citrus fruit farming in Eastern Kenya. So there you see some possibility for partnerships.
Thank you.
Nabil, thank you. It is always easy for clients of green loans to have the collateral requested by your company, specifically the poor people.
What is the question again?
In this, so it's I think it's a reaffirming comment. It is always easy for clients of green loans to have the collateral requested by your company, specifically the poor people. Is it like that, or is it difficult for them to have collateral?
It's actually difficult to have collateral. So that one of the things I was looking at as an ask for the partners that we want to work with is that, is there anyone who can be able to do the credit sharing products, so that by the end of the day, because what will happen is that ordinarily, if these people are unable to pay, their collateral cannot be taken anywhere, honestly. It's like we are almost doing unsecured loans, but because they value them, that you just take whatever they actually have and value it as collateral. So getting collateral is one of the big issues that deters them even from getting money from the big banks or other financial institutions.
Yeah, so here to the MIVs that are here with us here, now you can engage with Fortune Credit for further partnerships and collaborations. Annette Esila, thank you for the wonderful presentation. Fortune is a very vibrant institution with very good goals. So Janet, congratulations to your work. And Furgasa Hirpa with the last question, and we close our webinar today. Thank you for the good presentation. I would like to know if you're financing local or imported solar solutions. How is the competition from local markets at lower price? Here in Ethiopia, so where Furgasa is based, competition from informal market is very challenging. Please tell your experience in this regard. Thank you.
Yeah, true competition is actually there. We already have local partners, and we also have international partners, because we don't be able to close any door on anyone. And what I can say about competition is that competition is healthy. It helps people give us the best, and also to be able to keep their word as far as servicing is concerned, because we are only financial intermediaries. So we need experts in that area to be able to provide the solution that they can be able to give us, what is it called? The after sales services. So competition is good.
Yeah, so it enforces you to have good quality products and technologies, so that people can, so that you are comfortable financing these technologies, and that people can come to you because of the quality and and be ready to pay a little bit more than in the informal market. Yeah, so the message is to have a very good and qualified suppliers as partners.
Sure.
Right. So thank you very much for your presentation from Fanis. Yeah, thank you. Oh, no, more attendees are thanking you. Yes, we will share the presentations. This session has been recorded. It will be uploaded in YouTube. So, and in the website from e-MFP, you can download the presentation and revisit also the session today. Thank you, Janet, for sharing with us your work, and also to e-MFP for setting up this webinar for all the audience. And thanks to all our guests that were joining us today to this session.
Thank you, Natalia. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, Camille. We are here ready to close, and thanks to all of you, and we'll see each other at the European Microfinance Week in November, 16 to 18 of November, or in the next webinar in late November. Goodbye to all. Yeah, thank you.